is nonsense or foolish, but I put in work to be off last, Sunday. He was supposed to have been here, and they denied it, and gave my time to somebody else. Now, that's not an act of terrorism, but this guy wanted to go drinking and go partying and go fishing, and I wanted to come to church, and so they denied my time and gave it to him. And he didn't follow the policy, but I did. So it don't matter where you go, you know. You know that? Don't follow me. Have you been to Jesus for the cleansing time? Are you washing the blood of the Lamb? Are you fully trusting in grace time? Are you washing the blood of the Lamb? Are you washing the blood in the soul and in blood of the Lamb? Are you covered in spotless and white as snow? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Walking in the Savior's love. Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Do you rest each moment in the crucified blood? Washed in the blood of the Lamb. Are you washed in the blood? With the blood of the Lamb. Are you covered in spotless and white as snow? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Will your soul be ready for the Lamb and be washed in the blood of the Lamb? Are you washed in the blood, in the living blood of the Lamb? Are you covered in spotless and white as snow? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? May the light of the garment our shame is sin, and be washed in the blood of the Lamb. There's a fountain flowing for the soul unclean. Oh, be washed in the blood of the Lamb. Are you washed in the blood, in the living blood of the Lamb? Are you covered in spotless and white as snow? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Amen. I don't know if this is a G or not. What can wash away my sin? Nothing but the blood of Jesus. What can make me whole again? Nothing but the blood of Jesus. Oh, precious is the flow that makes white as snow. No very churchy. Not the second, first, third, and fourth. Brother Johnson is very churchy, but he can't tell you the day that the blood was applied to his heart. And that's all that's going to matter. Amen? That's all that God's going to look at. Is if the blood's going to apply. All right, Brother Johnson, come on.
All right, I'm sure everybody misses Steve and his family, but he won't be there in the judgment. It'll be you and the Lord. So we turn to the 7th chapter of Matthew. I don't know what George's procedures have been for Sunday school, but I've skipped around a whole lot, hitting high points here and there. I often think about people, they ask questions. And I used to feel like if somebody asked me a question, I just had to provide them with an answer. Then there come a day that I realized God didn't provide all the answers. There's mysteries that'll be there up until
That's right.
the final windup.
That's exactly right.
All the answers are not provided. What God gave us was what we needed to know.
Absolutely. Amen.
What we needed to know. And oftentimes we don't understand all that. Because, see, we're limited with our knowledge, our wisdom, understanding. We're limited by what we hear, how close the preachers that we listen at is preaching to us. All these things limit our understanding. But it's our duty, how is it Stevie says it, that you know that you know that you know that you know that you're saved.
Amen.
That's the most important decision in your life. We'll start with the 15th verse. We got some of these things we might be able to get a little bit more of what I expected, but it says, beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they're raving wolves. Paul said, after my departure, there will be wolves and creeping amongst us. Yeah. Everybody claiming Christianity is not a Christian.
Amen. Right.
There are people out there, and their goal is to destroy. It's not to build up. Usually they're scam artists and they want money, they want prestige, they want power, they want fame and fortune. They're not concerned about being washed in the blood. It's like he's talking about his, I think he said uncle. Many people, we have, I don't know, I done forgot, there's about 1 billion Catholics. So we have somewhere up toward 2 billion people in the world that profess to be Christian. But, as I said in the last 3 Sundays, they killed Cecil the Lion in Africa, and I mean, we had a worldwide turmoil. They killed a bunch of Christians in Syria, and the people said, they shouldn't have done that. That's all. In other words, it shows you where the hearts and the minds of people truly are at. And it's not just one denomination. It is creeping into all denominations. The thing is, you and I pretty well are in this on our own, just us and the Lord. Because now in beware of false prophets. You shall know them by their fruits. What do people promote? You know, well, we got men's bowling, we got the ladies' sewing society, we got this, we got that, we got the other. But we ain't got no place for folks to get saved. It's worthless. That is worthless. That's just a social club.
Yeah.
But it's creeping into all denominations. I mean, you can look across, anything in a different denomination, you look out. Some years ago, a Presbyterian wrote a book called The Death of a Church. that was pushing Christ out of the Presbyterian church that he belonged to. I don't know how many different Presbyterian groups they are, but they was doing away with the blood. See, Presbyterians used to get happy and shout years and years ago. But today, if somebody starts shouting, they think they lost their mind. You shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? When, people says, I'm a Christian, don't judge me. You have no right to judge me. But Jesus said, you know them by their fruits. We can look at what the fruit of the Spirit is, and we can look at what the works of the flesh are. In the 5th chapter of Galatians. Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. Now, regardless of what denomination a person belongs to, regardless of how often they go to church, regardless of how well they support the financial needs of that particular church, what actually counts is, do they live a Christian life? When they walk out and go down the street, do they live a Christian life? Paul wrote in the 13th chapter of 1 Corinthians that even though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor and have not charity, don't profit me a thing. It profits me nothing. What God is looking for people, as Steve's been preaching real hard, he asked another question. He said, I don't understand why the Lord's moving over to preach like that. I said, well, it really ain't no mystery. I said, the majority of the churches give up. They don't preach no life no more. I don't care what kind of, I don't care which denomination you go to, a good many of those people have given up on preaching a life of separation unto God.
Yeah.
They just don't live in it no more. Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. Don't make no difference what I do. You've got no right to judge me. You can't judge. I wonder sometimes how you make decisions. John said, 7:24, the judge does a righteous judgment. Sometimes you have to make decisions about people. Send me $100 and God will bless you. You got to make a decision. You going to send him $100? You know, are you going to just send him $100? Take a step on faith. Send me $100. 1,000 would be better. And what these people are doing, they're con artists. Most of them are con artists. If he's got that much faith, why don't he just get the $100 for himself? Get his own $100. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit. If you're really a Christian, it should show up. Your life should show you're a Christian. If you're walking an evil life, you're not showing a Christian outlook on things. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Now there's going to be some people going into judgment that's going to be surprised because they've listened to the scam artist and they haven't got their sins under blood at the judgment.
Have you ever heard of Bob Tilton, the TV preacher? You ever hear of him? He's from Texas, I believe. You ever hear of him?
No.
Listen to what he did. When he was in college, his first year of college, his one buddy said, I'm going to be a doctor. His other buddy said, I'm going to be an engineer. They said, Bob, what are you going to do? He goes, I'm going to be a TV evangelist. And he goes, and I'll make 100-fold more money than all of you. And guess what he did? He was the one that said, send me $1,000 and God will bless you.
I wonder how many people tried to buy it. See, here's the thing about it. Man's heart does not want to give up sin. Man's heart does not want to submit to God. In fact, he has to have help to do so. He can't bring his own heart under submission to God. This Holy Ghost of God has to convict his heart and has to assist him in it. All the thing he can do is agree to allow God to do the work, because he'll never be able to bring his heart under. So people sometimes, they try to buy salvation from another man. Like Simon the sorcerer. He had the people of Samaria convinced that he was the great power of God. Now it goes on, verse 21. Not every man that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Now that's very, very, very plain. Not everybody that's going to church is going to heaven.
Amen.
It's them that's doing the will of God. You know, a lot of people put, I belong to this denomination. I go to church every weekend. I give liberally to the church. You can do every one of those things and go to hell.
That's right.
We come back to one thing. If you got your sins under the blood of judgment, you're all right. If you ain't, you ain't. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have cast out devils? And in thy name done many wonderful works? And I will profess unto them, I never knew you. Now, I believe if he never knew them, they were never saved. But yet they thought they had done many amount of, I mean, they must have convinced they had done these things. They said, well, Lord, haven't we done all these wonderful things in your name? Haven't we not prophesied? Now, among the Christians, the Bible says Philip had 4 virgin daughters who prophesied. So now, have we not prophesied? Have we not cast out devils? Have we not done many wonderful things in your name? Simon the sorcerer bewitched the people. And they thought he was the great power of God. Why would a man that's an ordinary fellow, probably ain't got $50,000 in the bank, a lot of them ain't got 20, a lot of them ain't got 15, some of them ain't got 5. Why would they take it on themselves to send $1,000 to whoever that fellow is?
Bob Chilton.
Bob Chilton. Send $1,000 to that man. Why would they do that? Because they believe that it will profit them. He has got them bewitched. That's a simple fact. He's fooled them. They are deceived in what he's doing. They think they're doing the wonderful works of God by sending this con artist $1,000. Now, they would be better if the little kid down the street run around barefoot if they buy him a pair of shoes. They get more honor with God than they would $1,000 or something. Why should I? Now, I saw Jimmy Swaggart do something one time. Some folks like Jimmy Swaggart. A lot of folks listen to him. He had a watch on his wrist. He said, well, his watch is a $5,000 watch. But the fellow gave it to me. He probably ought to give a couple $1,000 to children to give it to me. Why should I give Jimmy Swaggart money? I can't help him. I've got a coffee $25. See, I can't help somebody, you know, that's a multiple millionaire. Now, I believe that many people going to church are fooled in what they're doing. I never knew you. It's a positive statement. Said they were never Christians. I will profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. Iniquity is a sin in the form of it denies the works of God. It denies the movement of the Spirit. It opposes. Now, God wants us to be charitable. It's a good thing when you see a man preaching the gospel and he's dedicating his life to it. He's putting his life in it. It's good to help that man. But a man living in a $1 million mansion, driving the best Cadillac on the road, he don't need my help. You just don't need it. Actually, you would be better off to drop $5 in the offering here, and I'm not saying this to get offerings for here, but you would be better off to drop $5 in the offering here than you would be to send $100 to one of those folks. Why would I say that? As far as I know, there ain't a man here taking money out of the church offerings. As far as I know, every penny that goes in is used for the benefit of the church. Therefore, we're giving for a good cause when you give to support the house of God. But I ain't interested in putting a gold dome ceiling in. Down on Alexis Road, one time there was real good people, I believe. But they got carried away some years ago, and they went out on Alexis Road and they built themselves a big fine church. I've never been there. I've been to the church they had downtown. And they put a gold dome ceiling in. What advantage is to that? You know, I like to have comfort. I enjoy having the fan, the air conditioner, and the lights and things like that, and I realize somebody's got to pay for those things. But why should I be interested in building? Look here, what a church we've got. Are you saved? That's the question. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doth them, I will liken him unto a man which built his house upon a rock. Rains descended, the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded on the rock. Now there's one thing to sustain me and you, and it's the only thing we'll do it. Walk in the ways of God. Do what the Bible tells us to do. If you do not do that, destruction waits your path. I don't know when it'll happen, but it'll happen. You know, I'm sure in the days when the Hebrews came out of Egypt, and they got over there, and the Lord said, you can't go in Canaan. Unbelief. I don't think they all died at the same time. They went through a process, but in 40 years, only the men that believed was left. Joshua and Caleb. Here's the thing about it. People seem to be getting away with stuff, but they're not.
It's true.
There comes the day that an accounting is required of them. Everyone that hears these sayings of mine and doth them not shall be likened to a foolish man who built his house upon the sand. And the winds descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, the rain descended, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. There's only one safety for me and you. Walk in the words of the Lord. I thought, we got time to back up here and take the first verse. Go through that one too. Judge not that you be not judged. You got no business judging me under no circumstances. Let's take a real look at that. John 7:24 says, the judge sets a righteous judgment. You would see a brother overtaken a fault, Galatians chapter 6. You're short. Go to such a one in the spirit of meekness and restore them. You've got to make judgmental decisions to do all that. For with what judgment you judge, you shall be judged, and with what measure you meet, it shall be measured to you again. Now, if I'm stealing, and I get over here and Dave says a word he shouldn't say, but I just get all over him. But I'm a thief. That's a phony judgment. Because my life is just as far off as his is. I'm not trying to do what's right. I'm not trying to walk in the ways of the Lord. I'm a thief. I'm stealing. But I point my finger at him over doing something. Sin is sin. And when you deliberately walk in sin, you're guilty. And why beholdest thou the mote in thy brother's eye, but considerest not the beam in thine own eye? Folks, I reckon a little bit tiny thing. A beam is a great old big thing. How can I straighten out Brother Terry's life if I'm worse off than he is? How will thou say to thy brother, let me pull the mote out of thine eye, and behold, the beam is in thine own eye? I'm not walking right, I'm not doing right, and I go over here and I start straightening out Dave. I go over here and I start straightening out Terry. You know what I do? I call it uproar in church. First off, when you go to working on your brother's eyes, get your eye clear so you can see good.
Well, Johnson, I've always looked at that word, and I remember looking it up, and my sense of judgment, where he says, judge not, meant that we're not to condemn without mercy. There's one thing between, like you said, judge righteous judgments. We've got to come to a, you know, if I'm going to hire a babysitter, I've got to make a judgment. Is this person trustworthy? Is there evidence that they're going to be what they say they're going to be around my children? But that ideal of judging and condemning somebody to where we're saying we set ourselves up as the final judge, I think we cross the line. I can condemn sin, and especially, you know, Paul said, they that sin publicly rebuke before all, you know, and openly, you know, there's some things that we can, you know, make judgments on, but that condemning without mercy is the thing that we're forbidden to do. And but people who don't know the Bible, they always know that verse.
I would offer an example. Brother in the church gets out and starts getting drunk. Whoever goes to him and says, brother, you're not supposed to get drunk like that. That's wrong. Ain't none of your business what I do. You've got a problem. You can't leave him with that attitude when you try to pull him back. He refuses. All you can do is excommunicate him from the church. That don't mean he can't get forgiveness, but you have to teach him that the church does not accept that. Now then, judge not that you be not judged. But what judgment you judge, you shall be judged. Judging people is a dangerous situation. If I come over here and I judge Dave, but I'm doing just as bad, the Lord will judge me. I shall be judged as I judge. So what do I want? How do I want to be judged? As merciful as possible.
Amen.
I want to show just as much mercy as I can. I want the Lord to show me mercy. So I should be merciful. I remember one time I was going to a church and a problem came up. Somebody was accused of something. They said, I'm not guilty. Somebody told the pastor, kick him out of the church or I won't come back. He listened to him. I said, brother, that ain't the way the Bible said go. I said, you haven't followed the procedures of the Bible. I said, investigate this, find out, is this really true? He said, no. He destroyed the church. After that, it dropped down, and 2 or 3 people came. He destroyed the church because he made a judgment to satisfy somebody whose goals was not really what the Lord wanted. Now, if there comes a problem, a brother gets overtaken in a fault, go to him, try to get him to straighten up. Try your best in a good spirit. But if he won't straighten up, then there comes a time that you have to proceed with church discipline. But we need to be careful. With what judgment I judge, I shall be judged. I can look at Brother Terry and say, I never did like him that way. Now, I wouldn't verbally say that, but in my heart, I never did like him that way. Now, Dave said he done something, boy, I got it. God will not accept a judgment made by us like that. He will judge us as we've judged. We're in trouble with God when we make such a false judgment. But there comes a time, like you said, life, you make judgments. You go down to the car lot to buy a car. You look at one, you look at the other, you got to decide which one to go buy. Life is full of judgments, but they must be fair, they must be just, and they must be merciful. Go to such a one in the spirit of meekness and restore. No, boy, I got the opportunity now and I'm going to run him out of the country. That's not what the Lord wants. The Lord don't want him run out of the country. He wants him straightened up. He wants him back working in his job.
Brother Johnson, there was 4 brothers that lived over here off of 50, and they was in town in Tennessee. None of them was working. And they was over at the house one day, and they were putting a motor in one of the pickup trucks. All 4 of them were married. No, 3 of them were married, 1 had a girlfriend. And there was a local preacher from here in Monroe that knew that they had moved to Monroe, but they weren't going to church anywhere and hadn't been here very long. And I heard that they were in town, so I went over there. Well, I didn't know that that preacher was coming over, and he didn't know I was. So I went over to the house and everything, and he was literally walking around with his Bible, telling them that they were everyone out of fellowship, going to die and go to hell, if they didn't get back in the church, and if they didn't do this, and if they didn't do that. And I mean, he was whooping them pretty hard. Well, I was in the kitchen, and the one man's wife opened up the fridge. There was not a drop of milk in there. I looked on the counters, there wasn't a loaf of bread in the house. I looked all around, and they had all the babies, they had little kids, and nothing in the house. Nothing. I mean, not even an old jar of dill pickles in the fridge. There was nothing in that house. No chips, nothing, Brother Terry, not even a can of chicken noodle soup. Nothing. And so that man was out there, and I mean, he was being mean to him, Brother Terry. I mean, he was tearing a hide off of them. And they were going to, everyone die and go to hell. Their children were going to die and go to hell, and because they weren't in church, and that they knew better. So I went down to the store, and I bought like 4 or 5 loaves of bread. I bought a pound of ham, a pound of turkey, a pound of bologna, and I just brought all this food back to the house. Not pat myself on the back, but Brother Terry, which way do you win somebody? They cried. They just stood there and cried because that I wanted to go try to get them some food. And so the thing was, the man that should have been at the store buying them food or trying to help them, he was literally tearing them in half. I told him after he got done with it, I said, look, I said, you didn't do a bit of good here. I said, them people will never go to church with you. They will never seek the Lord because of what you did to them today. So like you said, that spirit of meekness will work a whole lot more than beating to death.
Yes. We must be kind, we must be meek, we must be, the goal is not to whoop people online. The Lord could have made us do whatever He wanted to, but the Lord didn't want robots, to give people a choice. And He comes to us with love, mercy, kindness. And sometimes you'll come to Him and people say a lot of things. Reject. The other time you'll come back, you'll talk to their hearts. Sometimes you'll talk to them for years. We have a tendency sometimes, our patience is very short. But if you want to really be a success in church, you're going to have to have patience. You're going to have a spirit of kindness, and you're going to have a spirit that won't bend. You must stay faithful to God, regardless of what happens. Too many people, faithfulness to God is determined by somebody they compliment. We should never give no man that kind of confidence. We should stay with God first and foremost. And if the best friend we've got, the man we have the most of, if he goes against God, we stay with God.
Amen.
Don't make no difference. We stay with God. All right, we enter in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in their path. Because the gate, straight is the gate, narrow is the way which leadeth into life, and few there be that find it. We need to be careful. How do we know? Listen, there ain't no man going to save you. He ain't got the power. There ain't no man going to save me. He ain't got the power. The only thing that can save you is God. And He'll save you through Jesus Christ. And so, unfortunately, so many people, they believe that by going to church. They believe by giving money. They believe by belonging to the right social club. That won't save you. You've got to go to God through Jesus Christ, get your sins under the blood, and that's the only thing will justify you.
Has anyone ever said you were narrow-minded?
I'm sorry?
Has anyone ever said that you're narrow-minded?
Oh, yeah.
Some of the guys I work with, they're good church people. They really are. They're very good church people. But they tell me that I'm too narrow-minded. They tell me that I need to broaden my thoughts. What does it say? You just read it. And narrow is the way. Amen?
It's built on this. In the world, we have everything. You must believe in Jesus Christ as the Son of God. Actually, John 3, 16, 17, and 18 is a condensed statement of it. It's a little scripture we used to learn when we were kids in Sunday school, but that's it. Whosoever believes on Jesus. We have a couple of billion people who claim to believe in Jesus. We have 3 or 4 or 5 billion who claim they belong to other religions. And this is something you and I are going to face if we live a normal life. You're going to see your government say, you have no right to condemn these people. You have no right to tell them they cannot go to heaven in their religion. It couldn't happen. Why are we any better than the Syrians, Iranians, Colombians, the Mexicans out of southern Mexico? Why are we better than those people? They are suffering for their faith. Believe you me, is coming to America
Yes, it is.
because our people, our leaders do not care. They killed all these Christians. Obama put up a bigger dispute about not letting the boys go in the girls' bathroom. He did, he put up a bigger dispute. I mean, they killed the Christians there, so what? The government don't even mention it. They killed them in Mexico, they killed them in Nigeria, they killed them throughout North Africa, they killed them throughout some of the, about all Muslim countries persecute Christians. One U.S. senator stood up and said, we should not give money to any country that persecutes Christians. Of the Democrats and Republicans, the other 99 would not support him. But yet, probably out of that 99, 50 to 75 of them belong to a Christian church. See, they're fools. You shall know them by their fruits. All right. Thank you.
Let's take a 2-minute break. When did you get here?
I stuck in last night.
Walk, drive, or what?
Matthew's in Monaco for training, and I hitched a ride up to Tennessee. He dropped me off there where my parents were, and